Preparing to live stream. Shutting off.
Boy,
Oh,
Kyle.
we're already live.
Done.
Okay.
Is it working?
Yeah,
Okay.
it says live in the corner. We're good to go.
You're not welcome yet. I got to do the thing.
Here you go, Jake.
Is my arm here? Okay. Hello and welcome to Beer League Benchwarmers. I'm not actually that small. The podcast. God, I messed it up already. Because we're live, I'm gonna mess up a lot more, guys. The podcast from the bench of a tennis court, cause I hear tennis is about love. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, guys.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So full disclosure, this is our second time live. We did a little test, but we have no clue if this is working well or whatever. So bear with us if there's problems. I think we are monitoring the comments. Somebody is.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Today we're talking about cinematic universes and video games. So we're just going to have a discussion about cinematic universes and their influence and stuff, and propose our own cinematic universes, and then favorite video games throughout generations. I think that's good. Did I cover everything?
Sure
I feel
did.
like I'm forgetting stuff. Sean has electric powers, by the way.
Yeah, I've been getting static shock in my ears from my headphones today, so it's been fantastic.
That's a
So-
great static shot.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. It hurts.
No, the show.
The show.
Oh,
Sean is
Yeah,
turning
I mean,
into Static Shock.
I've never heard of the show, so.
What?
It's got Phil Lamar and
We have the unofficial president of the Kyle fan club in the comments.
hi. We'll have to make this official. We'll have to get t-shirts and stuff.
He's excited.
Uh,
Gotta give him that missile locking t-shirt made.
Yeah, that'd be great.
that was a good one. All right. Should we get down to it?
Let's roll.
All right. So, cinematic universes. I think there's some interesting things we can talk about first. There's so many cinematic universes. So, this is my understanding. If there's any factual errors, I apologize. There were cinematic universes before the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but the Marvel Cinematic Universe popularized it for like big giant studios. So in the last 5-10 years, there's just been an explosion of cinematic universes. So obviously there's the MCU, there's DCU, there's Warner Bros. Is doing Monster Universe, technically the Legos. But yeah, so these have had various levels of success and different approaches and stuff. Just curious how you guys feel about, first off, just the big trend of cinematic universes. Like, you can't just have a standalone movie anymore. It has to be part of a cinematic universe. Who wants to start?
I'm out
I'm
on
fine
this
with
one,
it.
guys, so.
I know I like it when they expand it and they make it big. I mean, obviously, nobody's done it like Marvel has with everything that they've done, and they've strung it all together, which is pretty sweet. So, I enjoy it. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get the little crossovers that I've never lived in that, but I've heard there's an Asian TV where there's just tons of crossovers. Like, I think Rick mentioned Cheers and something else.
They used to do crossovers back in the day sometimes.
The Lilo and Stitch TV show on the Disney Channel did crossovers all the time.
Do they?
Really?
Yeah, well, I mean, they did way back when. Yeah, back when the Disney Channel was cool.
Scooby-Doo
Yeah,
used to as well.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo.
They factor the Arrowverse.
Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers.
The Arrowverse, but I
Did
think
they
the
really?
Arrowverse. Oh, neat! That's kind of cool.
Yeah, way back when, like the original Mighty Morphin Power. I think it was that or the Turbo. When we were kids.
Was
That's
it in
fine.
Townsville?
I don't know.
Okay.
Um,
So it's not a new concept, but Disney has taken it and added so much money to it that it's now like the big thing.
Scooby-Doo
it's
has
crazy.
infinite crossovers.
Infinite.
Says.
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure that's your sister, but I'm not sure.
Who? What?
Elephant 6192.
I have a sister that is an elephant, so that works. I'm just gonna.
rude.
Very rude.
No, I don't know. That's actually Alicia.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm a little delayed because of the beer league. Anyways, so I personally, I think it's interesting. I think that depending on the next few years, it could get really interesting because the DCU is basically no one likes it, as far as I can tell. But there's still some good movies from it, and I think there's the Zack Snyder cut for Justice League coming out, right?
I was gonna say I think this Justice League is what ruined it.
Yeah, but it still has a
they
chance.
didn't mind the Superman standalone, and they didn't mind the Aquaman standalone.
Yeah,
It was when they did the. Actually, it might have been ruined by Batman vs Superman. That was not a movie.
I've
That's
only
alright.
seen it once, so I don't remember.
I haven't seen any of them.
But it's
Not waste your time.
it's nice because you get more content with things you like. Because I've always liked the DC. Like they have tons of DC comic shows, like animated shows that are really good. Tons of them with Batman specifically, and they're really cool stories. But the cinematic, the real action live action one has failed to really kick off. Has there been any that have gotten anywhere near as successful as MCU?
I mean, no. MCU's bar is so high
Okay.
that like it's just not even close. The closest one would probably be Star Wars,
Yeah.
but that's still, especially the last trilogy, not that close.
That's true.
Where-
That's also Disney.
Yeah, it's also well, it likes lining their pocket, but
Mhm.
it's just a matter of Marvel has more quantity, and it may not be all of top quality. Like there are some Marvel movies that I don't care for, but the majority of them are great, in my opinion. Where the majority of the Star Wars movies are not great, and it's
Yeah.
so like if you have 4 bad Star Wars movies, well, that's half your universe.
Okay.
Universe in Star Wars, crazy.
And isn't there word that they're going to be like slowing down with the movies? Maybe they're going to focus on the TV shows for now.
They're already talking about making another whole trilogy set
Am I?
like 200 years prior to the sequels. So it'd be like young Yoda, like that time, like Old Republic time.
That's interesting. The Old Republic. That's that has been explored in the video games.
Yeah.
I've only played the first one. I think there's 2 games and then an MMO, right?
Yeah, there is a big online one that really didn't catch on at all, surprisingly.
But there's still probably content there they can mine from because Disney loves mining content.
Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously money is the reason why people are doing it. But why do you think everyone is failing? Like I've got the list on the side here. We got like MCU is working, DCU, Sony Heroes. I think there's only been Venom, so that's like,
That's going into the MCU.
is it okay?
I mean,
So that-
that's my guess because the Morbius, I think that's what it is.
Morpheus.
Morpheus.
Are you talking about Dream of the Endless?
No. The vampire dude.
Oh, I don't know
There's
that.
a new movie coming out where it's a
Morbius.
Sony. Oh, is it?
Morbius.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in the trailer is the bad guy from Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Oh,
And there's Spider-Man on a wall when Jared Leto, which people need to stop casting Jared Leto. He's a terrible actor.
wait, Spider-Man is Jared Leto?
No,
Okay.
better not be. I will stop watching him.
Okay.
He was walking past the wall and there was Spider-Man on it. So it's like that was a Sony MCU, and they're going into because technically Spider-Man is still Sony. It's just that they have an agreement to allow him to be in the MCU. So I think that Venom will eventually get into the MCU, which I just watched Venom the other day, and it was a very good movie.
Yeah, you liked
I
it?
enjoyed it. I'm a little leery on how I feel about Woody Harrelson being Carnage, but
Yeah, I don't like that.
I mean, it's going to be CG half the movie, right? So
Yeah, but they just better not dub his voice as Carnage. That's all I gotta say.
Just unmodulated, just Woody Harrelson. And he's got the tentacles, I think, right? Just flying around.
Yeah.
That would be good. That would be funny. But yeah, Star Wars has also been successful. That's obviously Disney. Lego movies. Apparently that counts as a cinematic universe because they had the Lego movie and then the Batman. And
Superman, Wonder Woman. There's a lot of
Lego.
the Lego Batman movie you're talking about. Sorry.
Yeah. And then they had
all the other characters that are in it as well.
a Ninjago one. I don't know. I don't know a lot about that.
It's not Ninja. It's Ninja Go.
Oh, like
No,
Pokemon Go.
It's Ninjago. I can't stand when people say it. It's Ninja Go. No, that's really.
Do you have a lot of Lego conversations?
Yes, my nieces and nephews.
Oh.
Okay, so they might be
You
excited.
guys
about
for saying it wrong then.
Yeah, it makes sense to aim a lot of these cinematic universes at kids because they have a lot more time, generally speaking.
And depending on what it is.
I suppose, yeah.
I mean, like the Star Wars, I think just spans over generations.
Okay, that's fair.
Oh yeah.
I have a comment saying I think most things are migrating into shows or series.
Yeah, that's another trend. I actually really like that trend because I prefer TV shows over movies, generally speaking, because they can take more risks. It seems like they can have like themed episodes and they can kill off characters nowadays. You can't kill off characters in movies; they never die.
And then they always come back. Even shows do too, especially cinematic or not cinematic, just universes. I'll talk about the Arrowverse. None of them are actually dead.
Right. There's
But that's
900
comic
planets.
book stuff. I mean, comic book characters are never dead. They always find ways to come back.
Yeah, that's a good point. The TV, especially in Disney again. Jesus, Disney's everywhere.
Arrowverse isn't Disney.
I mean, yeah, I
They're Warner
forget the
Brothers, right?
Arrowverse. That would be is that considered a cinematic or a television universe?
Television.
TU.
Yeah, because there was the DCU and then there was DC TVU or something like that. There was two separate universes for DC, and then they just had one of their crossovers like a year ago or so, and they actually had the TV Flash and the movie Flash meet each other. And it was a big thing. Like it was like a huge secret that only the Flashes knew about. Grant Gustin and it was a something Ezra. I want to say George Ezra, but I feel like
he's a musician.
Yeah.
George Foreman?
Yeah.
He's a boxer.
Now he boxes faster.
Yeah.
But that's why, like, when they were doing the Justice League, there was talks about Stephen Amell, the guy that plays Oliver Queen in Arrow, being in the Justice League movie, and they're just like, no, like he's in his own universe. They don't ever meet.
They don't cross.
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't know that.
But then, like I said, during the Crisis on Infinite Earth, I think that the crossover was called, they had the two Flashes meet, so that kind of opened it up. Especially as a character like Flash, who can jump between
the multiverse.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Because of Cisco.
I think, Rick, you're a big fan of the Cloverfield ones, right?
Yeah, I love the Cloverfield one. They're coming out with the fourth one soon.
So
So
I've only seen the first.
yeah, I was telling Sean, you gotta watch. You have to watch 2 and 3 because they're all completely different stories. They're all connected.
Cloverfield Lane is so boring, though.
But John Goodman's amazing.
Oh, dude, there's literally a half hour of no talking, them just doing shit. Spoiler alert, in the bunker where nothing is going on, and then all of a sudden, something happens.
Well, yeah. Well, what are you gonna do? You're in a bunker. What are you gonna do?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's a boring movie. The first 15 minutes is good, and then like the last 20 minutes is good, and everything else in between is just filler. And
So you think it should have been a half-hour movie?
It could have easily been shrunk into a TV show, a one-off, one season, one episode TV show. Firefly would have lasted longer than that.
Ooh.
Name dropping.
I thought it was great.
Nathan Fillion.
John Goodman was amazing in it. I wish he would have killed everybody.
That movie was bad. The Paradox was good.
Paradox was crazy.
Cloverfield Paradox I loved a lot more than I thought.
Do you think I don't know a lot, so I'm coming from a place of ignorance. But do you think the movies have gotten better because they're part of a combined universe, or do you think they would have been better off standalone?
Better as in how? Quality or people
Like,
watching?
did you get more value out of it, or something? I don't know.
It becomes more watchable.
Okay.
Because you're looking for, like, I've told you guys earlier, I'm just got into Daredevil. And I'm in like 4 episodes. And one of the episodes are like, this guy's just a mass vigilante unless he's wearing a suit of armor or having a magic hammer, you should be able to deal with them. And it's like, oh, that's cool. That's Iron Man, Thor references. Mm-hmm. And like, it's just stupid stuff like that where it's like, oh, I get that reference.
Mm-hmm. They do that in comics all the time.
Yeah, if it's a bad movie, at least then it's like, okay, I get that. Or there's this image in the background, it can lead to something else.
So it's like Easter eggs. You enjoy those.
Easter eggs can make the movie, even if it's bad.
Yep.
That's why, like, during the MCU, there's bad movies. There were movies that I just do not care for. But I watched it, and I've watched it multiple times because of it being a part of this universe.
Yep. Same here.
So I wouldn't say they're necessarily good movies. Some of them really make the movie. Civil War was a great movie. But it's very hit or miss. I mean, I'm speaking mainly on Marvel, but just because that's the biggest success of it. But
yeah,
DC, I'm not a big DC fan, so I can't really speak for that.
Yeah, I think you need at least a couple of good movies, though, and I think that's where a lot of the cinematic universes haven't been great, because they're like, we'll be fine as long as we have all these cool characters, but then they ham fist one of them into a stupid movie or something. Somebody who doesn't deserve their own movie, or a half-assed story, or whatever. Because it also limits the directors too, so it's might not be the best way to work, because these characters have to, at the end of the movie, be in very specific locations and statuses and stuff. You can't just kill off any character you want if you're in a cinematic universe.
Well, that's why you got to have like a major one person overseeing it all. So that way it could be just like The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian has a different director every episode, but Jon Favreau is overseeing it all. So that way he can guide it into the direction that needs to complete the season or the series.
Yeah.
That's Jon like Favreau. Star Wars. It was probably the best example of the last few movies have not been good and has lost fans. But now The Mandalorian has kind of picked it up and brought back people. So like it all depends on what direction they're going in. Star Wars is usually in a trilogy format. It's all connected, but for the most part, the plots are in trilogies. So it'll be interesting to see how they go forward.
Yeah.
For Marvel, it is a 22 movie series.
We just started that beginning this week, since I'm off. So we're watching it all. Luckily Disney Plus has them all. You can do them all in order. Yep. Although they're missing Hulk and Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm missing a couple.
Yeah, we just started. We're up to Black Panther today, which, like, some of them I haven't seen. Like, I just watched Iron Man 3, never saw that. Never saw Civil War. Yeah, Iron Man 3 I didn't think was that great. There's a couple of them
I love Civil War.
Recently.
Civil War really
wasn't bad. It was pretty cool.
I watched that for the first time on a cruise.
Mind-blowing.
Yeah, Winter Soldier, watched that first time. I watched that.
That was the best Captain America movie.
You think so?
I think so. Winter Soldier was great.
Yeah.
I love
that one.
I want to do, and that's part of the reason why I watch Daredevil too, because I know that some of these characters are intertwined with the MCU. So like, I really didn't get into Jessica Jones and Punisher and all those. So like, I want to get into those.
The Defenders cinematic universe.
Yeah, that's it. There will be a series based off of these guys.
Yeah. You can probably skip Iron Fist. The pacing is really strange.
Yeah, I've heard Iron Fist is really bad.
It's not awful, but it doesn't compare to the others. It doesn't seem as focused to me as the other ones.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I've watched 4 episodes of those, and I just could not get into that. Where Daredevil has been really good.
Oh, Daredevil's great. I'm really sad they canceled it probably because of Disney Plus, honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was a contract thing.
Because they were gonna probably keep it going, like with another Defenders, have another shot. Because of another kind of slightly disappointment is the Defenders TV show wasn't that great. Like, I think the individual shows were better on their own. But
that's it. Sometimes you can force it and it just does not do good.
Yeah.
Some things are better left alone with just Easter eggs here and there. But to
Like-
force it all at once sometimes is not a good thing.
Like the dark cinematic universe. This is going to be. I think it started with Mummy with Tom Cruise.
It's already canceled.
Yeah, they gave up before they even got that far.
His Mummy
it was-
bombed so bad.
Yeah, because Mummy did so bad. I remember I watched Mummy, and I don't know if I've actually seen all of it because I fell asleep. It was
There
It
was going
was
to be a
so
series.
there was going to be that. There was going to be a Frankenstein movie or like a Bride of Frankenstein movie or something like that. Like it was going to have like those type of
Really?
villains in it. Yeah. Just didn't. The Mummy did so bad that Warner Brothers was like, all right, like that was their plan, was to have the dark universe, but it just didn't pan out.
Was that related at all to the older Mummy movies with Brendan Fraser? Because that's what I was thinking is when it came out.
Nope.
Honestly, what they probably should have done is they probably should have started with something like Frankenstein or something like rather than Mummy. That probably
Well,
would have worked out better. But
The Mummy predates like Frankenstein. Like the Mummy is like 10,000 or like 1,000 BC, like when the Egyptians.
Yeah,
but
Yeah,
that's like
prequel.
when Tom,
like that's when the Mummy was alive.
Yes.
yeah,
But
when
when
his-
the villain of the Mummy is,
Oh yeah.
you can make that whenever because the Brendan Fraser one's
True.
older. It's not
Yeah.
like
Just watch that. Me and
Yeah,
that
it was
elephant watched Mummy recently. It was good. It was a very
The part
fun
that
movie.
freaked me out of that movie was when the bugs were crawling in the skin.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
oh, the
oh,
little scarab things.
yeah.
Arabs.
Hey, he
But
freaking
I
climbs into his
would
brain.
love to have like a Van Helsing universe.
Yeah,
That would be
that'd pretty
awesome.
sweet.
All right. Is there any others you guys? Because we are gonna segue into what we think could be a sustainable cinematic universe. But
Talk
is
about the new one.
does anyone want to talk about Alien, Conjuring, Unbreakable, Harry Potter, X-Men, or Lord of the Rings? Those are all other potentially. Huh?
I don't know Unbreakable. I don't
Yeah, you do.
consider Lord of the Rings.
Unbreakable's the one
Oh,
of Bruce
yeah, I
Smith and
think it-
Split
yeah.
and Glass.
I've only seen the first one. I really
It's
didn't
kind of
see-
cool. They all feel like they're not typical Hollywood superhero movies.
How many
I'd
are
say
there? I've only seen
3.
Unbreakable.
Yeah, which was good. I didn't
Yeah,
see
I love
Split and I didn't
Unbreakable.
see, was it Glass, you said?
Yeah, it's the last
Split
one.
was like a- Split was like a thriller.
Yeah, I just didn't get into that.
You wouldn't like Glass, Jake. I don't want to
What?
ruin unless you plan on watching it.
What? Why?
Because Bruce Willis' character is unbreakable, but he dies by
Unbreakable.
drowning in the movie.
Oh well, because that's his weakness.
Spoilers. Drowning.
Spoiler comment section. I
My
just
bad.
consider Lord of the Rings
Old enough.
a universe. Like, to me, that's just series.
Yeah, but
They,
The Hobbit.
Yeah,
That's still a
technically.
series.
Yeah, but
They're
that's all,
Like that's
all part
why
of it,
like
though.
Star Wars is a universe because you had the series, episodes 1 through 9, but then you also had Solo and Rogue One and Mandalorian and all the cartoon universes and all that. Where like The Hobbit is just like you go from Hobbit to Return of the King. Like that's just a straight series. It's a straight storyline. Where like when I consider a universe, it's like okay, you have Iron Man and then you got Thor. Like they're completely different different plots, but they're a part of a big universe of the storyline. That's why I don't consider Lord of the Rings. I love Lord of the Rings, by the way, but I don't consider them a cinematic universe.
I think Rick had something to say.
No,
No?
I don't know. I mean, I guess, yeah, it's not really. I know what you mean. Where there's, it's basically. I mean, there's multiple main stories happening all at the same time that kind of converge on each other. It's more like a universe where Lord of the Rings, there's one plan and that goes through the entire thing. So I mean, I understand, but I mean, by that, would Cloverfield then be a universe? Because Cloverfield isn't exactly.
I don't consider that a universe either. To me, like
Yeah.
the difference between being a universe and a series.
Yeah.
And that's where I think there's a line, and like Cloverfield wouldn't be it. If it was like Cloverfield versus King Kong, I'm not saying that should be it. I think that would be a terrible
I
idea.
hope that they never do that.
Like that would be a universe then.
That's your idea.
Like- Go ahead.
I would like to say they are planning on doing the Lord of the Rings TV show, and there's a lot of content. Like Tolkien has tons and tons of stories, so it might be like not technically a cinematic universe yet, but it might become one. And there's also video games that are kind of like offshoots, but I don't know if that counts. Like the Third Age, I think, is a separate story. Then there's also Shadow of Mordor or whatever it's called, which has to do with
Yeah, I mean, but
some of
that's
the past.
that's not cinematic universe.
That's
you know
true,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like that's I saw a list and it had Transformers. It's like, but why? That's a series.
They just started. I just looked up lists
Bumblebee?
online, honestly, and Bumblebee has its own movie, so it might be like a failed one that's already over, but technically they have like combined movies and separate movies.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't. To me, those are series. Like that's why I got a problem. I saw a list and I was like, I got a problem with that one. Even the Conjuring. Like
Well,
those
that's why
are
I put a question mark on that one. I don't
that's a
actually know anything
series.
about it.
Like they're horror movies, and I don't like horror movies, so I could be completely wrong. But like, there's Conjuring 1 through I think 3 or whatever. Then how is that?
Well, yeah, The Conjuring, plus you have Annabelle. There's
yeah.
Annabelle 1 and 2. I think they have another one as well that went by a different name. But those are all like the Warrens. But essentially, I mean, even with that, like it's different movies, but the Warrens are the main plot point behind it. So it's not like there's additional main characters. I guess there's really nothing's like two main stories becoming one, I suppose.
Well, that's like I like the idea of Alien because of Alien versus Predator. Like those are two different those are two entities.
Mm-hmm.
But then they come together in Alien versus Predator, and I think Alien versus Predator 2.
I think that honestly, it might not be a cinematic universe. I think you could just call that a crossover, because it's just two things.
Well, not because according to Alien versus Predator, Predator created Alien for the sole purpose of hunting them. So like that would be the exact. That's all. Yeah. So that would be a story rather than a crossover.
Yeah.
Or a universe.
Kind of, but you wouldn't get that from watching an Alien movie alone.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't figure that out.
No, I mean I might be taking it way too literally, but like I got a line in between series and cinematic universe, and some of these movies that are on the universe side, I just don't agree with.
This is not a comprehensive list either. I just looked up some stuff like from Wikipedia and stuff.
Yeah, right. I did the same, and I was just like, really? That one?
Yeah. It's ill-defined because it's still kind of new in terms of like there's only been a few very successful ones, so things might change dramatically in 5 to 10 years if more people get success. We might have a new definition of cinematic universe.
Well, that's I think DC failed because they tried too much to be like the MCU, and you can't. I get the MCU is a success, but they put a lot more money and effort, and mainly money, into creating that universe, and some of those failed, but you had the money from the success to be able to deal with the failures.
Yeah.
Where the DCU had like 4 movies, and then like 2 of them did bad. All right, well it's over. Like, you can't deal with half of your movies being bad.
Mm-hmm.
Suicide Squad was not a good movie.
Nope.
What is this? Some kind of Suicide Squad?
I know, yeah. But I'm excited. Well, segue to the new one, the Godzilla versus King Kong.
I think that's Warner Bros. Monsterverse, right?
Yes. Like I'm excited for that because I loved watching the Godzilla cartoon where the guys lived on the boat and they could just play the little flute and Godzilla would come up.
What?
Okay, that might just be me.
That sounds like a dream.
Sounds like Tommy from Power Rangers.
No, it wasn't. I do not. I know the Green Ranger. Do not question me on the Green Ranger.
Yeah.
But no,
I'll be back.
Okay.
There
was an episode, there was a series. It was a cartoon way like early 90s or whatever.
I'm gonna eat a carrot. Sorry if it's loud.
All right, Bugs Bunny.
Okay.
Ow. What the fuck is going on?
I don't know. We're live, Kyle. Where are you going, bro?
So Godzilla's got a boat.
Yeah, I mean that was the show. No, Godzilla didn't. It was this family that was friends with Godzilla, and they'd call him when they needed his help.
I've never heard of
Look it up. I'll look it up after the show.
Does he just live underwater?
I don't know. Well, I mean, technically, he lives deep into the Earth's crust where there's heavy radiation. That's how he lives. That's how he eats, feeds.
Yeah.
They explain that in the King of Monsters.
Yeah. Have you not seen King of Monsters?
Nope.
Yeah, they explain.
I think Oh, sorry. Unless you have more.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. I
Go
think
ahead,
we're.
Jared, boy.
If you have a point, man.
Go
Did
ahead,
they-
Bugs.
Have they explained how Godzilla's going to stand on an aircraft carrier?
No.
Is it a super big aircraft carrier?
Or have Thor's hammer.
That was King Kong, by the way, and
Same thing.
I think that was made from this. All right, I'll give you my prediction of this movie. That basically Mechagodzilla is made
Oh,
and is camouflaged in the skin of real Godzilla. They bring King Kong to fight him, and then he fights him, and he takes the scale of Mechagodzilla. And then all of a sudden Godzilla comes and he's got to fight him. Like, basically that little girl that's in the trailer will die. She won't make it to the movie. And King Kong will lose his shit and start killing everything.
nice.
I could see that.
Yeah. But Mechagodzilla will be the main antagonist.
I have absolutely no clue what you're talking about, but I assume something about the trailer or the King of Monsters movie.
Have you
is
not
something.
seen any of these, Kyle?
We share them in the chat.
Dude, the first Godzilla was really good. That's
Yeah.
my favorite. King of
I'm
Monsters is okay. The
Alright.
second-
The host with the some. I'm not the host with the most or the all.
Have you seen? You haven't seen any of these, Kyle?
The monster ones?
Yeah.
Nah, not really. I've saw
Skull Island was pretty good.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, I like that one.
that the one
There was
Jack
the
Black.
other-
I love
there was
John
the
C.
other
Reilly's
King Kong.
character.
Do not watch that one on Jack Black. That's King Kong. That's like a 3-hour waste of your time.
Yes,
Yeah, the
that's
can't
horrible.
with Jack Black, and I've seen parts of it. Like,
It's so bad.
I mean, are those considered the same universe? If they're just completely different stories, I don't even know if they're the same. Like,
No, that'd be like saying that Matthew Broderick is a part of Godzilla. Like, those are just failed movies.
But I like that Godzilla though too.
I do
enjoyed
too. I do like that one. I remember just like hiding behind my couch because I was like 6 watching that. I was scared.
all little
I
baby
thought-
Godzilla's messing up Matt's.
Yeah.
I was worried to go to Madison Square Garden.
Well, I knew that was never a thing that I needed to worry about. I was more worried about Quickstand as a kid, but
Right.
than going
Yeah.
to MSG. But I love the Godzilla movies, and yeah, at the end credit scene for King of Monsters, they basically announced that there will be Mechagodzilla.
That's another thing. Cinematic Universe
really?
is basically started as end credit
I'll have to
scenes.
go back and check that out.
Not started, but like popularized.
My first end credit scene that I remember is Pirates of the Caribbean.
I was thinking the same thing. It was just a monkey, though, right?
Yes, it was. It was just a monkey, but he lived. And you're like, oh shit, there's gonna be another one.
I was thinking about this last night when we were finishing up one of the movies. Like, is there when you see that there's an end credit scene, are you more excited for the end credit scene than you were for the entire movie? Because it's something that
Depends on
just
the movie.
pops up and it's like, oh, it's like a big surprise.
But like when the movies were coming out, it was really cool because it was like a sneak preview kind of thing. But most of the time, it didn't make sense because it was like you had to know the Marvel comic universe. But it was still cool, and it spawned a lot of discussion, which was important because it's free advertising for Disney.
Yeah.
But I honestly, in retrospect, like most of them aren't even canon. Like they might not even have happened. I recall one that there was like they were torturing Winter Soldier or something, and that never actually happened in any of the movies. So it's like I don't know. It was cool though at the time though.
Most
So-
of them were canon though. Now,
They were?
yeah, because like Winter Soldier. Under Winter Soldier, it was you were in Wakanda and you were getting, and the Winter Soldier was getting his new arm,
Yeah.
or they were
That's
taking
pretty
care of him. So like that was the transformation from him being from good to bad back to good, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. He was
Or Iron Man obviously was the big one because that is what set it off. And to me, that was huge because
oh yeah.
Iron Man came out, it was not Disney. It was an independent company of Marvel that was basically like, good luck. If you fail, we're not going to lose a lot of money, but if you succeed, awesome. So for you to be like an independent film having so many question marks around you, to be like, we're going to throw this end credit scene because we have a plan that's huge that we can't do right now, but we want to do it. And then, sure as shit, here we are with the biggest
20
universe
movies later.
ever.
What was the end credit scene for Iron Man?
Samuel L. Jackson basically talked about
yeah.
mutants. He talked about Spider-Man. Like, it was him saying there are more out there besides just you.
Yeah.
But where was Thor's hammer then? Which one was that one? Where Coulson goes to thing and sees Thor's hammer.
We just freaking watched it. He goes to New Mexico. That was at the.
I got reassigned. That's when.
I want to say it was Iron Man 2. I mean, he mentions it in Iron Man. He says, I got reassigned out to New Mexico.
Yeah, and then the end credit scene is him going to New Mexico.
Yeah, that was, I think, at the end of... it might have been at the end of Hulk. Because at the end of Captain America...
End of Hulk was Tony Stark showing up and saying to...
Yes, at the bar. Yeah.
It was end of Iron Man 2, because Hulk isn't on Disney Plus, and I know that I watched that end credit scene. So it was Iron Man 2, because that was where Coulson was put in charge of watching over Tony Stark when his house was all messed up. So he was under house arrest.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't Captain America. Because Captain America was the gym scene. Basically, Fury goes there, we need your help.
We got a mission.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that shows like how important the end credit scenes were, is that we know where they were, it's not nothing.
Yeah, that's right. Samuel Jackson was sitting in Tony Stark's living room and explaining to him about...
I mean, some of them were bad. Or I don't want to say bad. Useless for the most part. Like, Guardians of the Galaxy never really had one.
They had like 8, didn't they?
Yeah, the only one that comes to mind is for Teenage Groot and Chris Pratt.
Those were just fun.
Right, exactly. Or there was the one, I want to say it was Captain Marvel, where
Howard the Duck was in the...
Yeah.
Howard the Duck
was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, that's Guardians of the Galaxy 2. They had Sylvester Stallone and his group.
Yeah.
Yeah,
getting together. Multiple. I think each movie...
Those might be coming out in the next...
well, that's it. It's to leave an open door to have those. But like, there was the one where it was Nick Fury was just on a starship in a simulated beach scene.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, that was kind of pointless. I forget what that one was. Obviously, that was before Infinity War.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but
you're wrong.
You're wrong.
That beat you to it.
I could have sworn there was one. I want to say it was Guardians of the Galaxy that his stepfather or whatever, who it was, that
Ronan.
No,
yeah, the god, the planet.
Star-Lord's stepdad that was with him in the hospital right before he got abducted. I'm assuming it was his stepdad or his mom's boyfriend or whatever. And he's like, here, open the present. But then there's like an end credit scene and it shows him and he says, we need to find my son. I'm like, okay. And then they came out with the next movie and it was not him, as they was nothing to do with it.
I don't remember that at all.
So maybe
I'm lost.
Maybe I didn't see that then. I thought I saw something.
Maybe it was a dream. Probably. You were watching that when I was watching the Godzilla TV show.
And Pan flute. Right. Sator on the boat calling Godzilla.
Yeah, I think that was his uncle at the hospital you're talking about. The one that pulls him into the room pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that was pretty much the only scene you ever see him.
I could have swore there was one that he was in, but maybe
I was thinking too how funny it is that the first 3 or 4 Marvel movies, Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury is only in the end credit scene.
Yeah, really, I bet you got paid a pretty penny too.
Yeah,
right?
He really doesn't show up. Iron Man 2, he's in it a little bit more, but I mean, he's not really deeply involved in the movies until
I think his first, Avengers. That one had shawarma. I remember that one.
Yeah, the second end credit was there eating shawarma.
That was great.
Yep.
But anyway, I think we're off on a tangent that I think, Sean, one more point, Sean. I was just
going to say, fun little fact about that end credit scene. Chris Evans is holding his face like this because he has a prosthetic over his face to make it look like he doesn't have a beard because he had a beard growing for another movie that he was shooting.
I think it was Snowpiercer.
Yes.
Yeah, just like Henry Cavill has a CGI over his mustache in Man of Steel because of Mission Impossible. Yeah,
Did not know that one. That's cool.
It was hot. Anyways, thank you for that point, Sean. Now we're going to move on. I think we're all going to come up with something we think should be a cinematic universe. I know Rick or Jake has a good one planned already. Rick, you haven't talked in a bit. You go first.
I mean, there's a couple that I think would be good. Obviously, like I enjoy Fallout. I would love to see Fallout as some type of universe. I think that another one that would be really good would
Fallout,
be
meaning the video game series about post-apocalypse.
yes.
well, wouldn't that be a series then?
No, because there's they happen.
You did do different shelters, I guess.
Yeah, there's different because you have they're set in different places. Like there's Las Vegas, there's Maryland, Washington D.C., Boston, and they're all relatively within just a couple years of each other. So a lot of them kind of overlap. But then there's also I thought of how big it is already as far as video games go, but Elder Scrolls.
Ooh.
And there's so much there. Like it's more than just like orcs and elves and that nonsense. There's the one game Morrowind where there's a lot of strange, almost like alien type creatures that are around and different types of stuff like that. Which that's a giant lore.
I think a cool Elder Scrolls movie would be like an adventure movie where they're exploring a Dwemer ruin, and there's all the traps and stuff. You could do like an Indiana Jones style thing.
Yeah.
So I think the story behind the dwarves. I don't know a lot. I've only played Skyrim, but I think the dwarves were like this huge species that built giant cities underground and robots and stuff, but they all died. And so they just left these giant ruins.
Yeah.
And it's just this weird, mysterious, like sprawling underground cities filled with like blind elf things that shoot you and stuff.
Yeah. But I mean, the world there is big and it's very expansive, and there's tons and tons of lore involved. So you could, as far as cinematic and TV and all that, you could make a gigantic universe out of what's already been built just by that.
Well, for one, Fallout got approval from a fan. But for two, the problem that I have with the Elder Scrolls is, I barely played Skyrim, but wouldn't it be kind of compared to Game of Thrones, like off the bat?
It's fantasy, but
then
you could say
you also
like
had World of Warcraft. They tried a movie and it did terrible.
Yeah, it did really bad. But I mean, but I think that. Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, because World of Warcraft is a giant following, but
and a giant lore as well, just like Skyrim. And
yeah,
I'm not saying they shouldn't do it. I'm just, as a studio, wouldn't you be a little hesitant?
Oh, I'm sure they would. Because I mean, you do have. I mean, even with that, what's the difference between, Lord of the Rings and Elder Scrolls? That's all the same magic and all that other nonsense.
It's
so
Tolkien-esque fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stories that are
updated,
that are kind of based all around there. I'm thinking of that world has already been essentially written, like the land and all of that. So it'd be, if somebody wanted to, it'd be easy to make that if they're. But yeah, you would have to have a following to get it created.
And it definitely does. I mean, Skyrim's what, 10 years old, and people are still playing it.
Yeah, Skyrim's old as hell. I still play it all the time.
Right.
I have it on PlayStation, Xbox, PC.
Play it on anything.
I'm one of those dupes that bought it on all the different platforms.
Hey, you're not the only one. I guarantee you that.
No, I'm not. It's on Switch too. I haven't bought it for Switch, but sometimes I look at it.
I mean, I think it would do all right. I just don't know if a studio would be like, oh, that's the one we'd choose to take off, because that's a huge thing to take on with the amount of CGI work and all that. Like, it'd have
to have a budget like Mandalorian if you really want to make it good.
Yes, and I think a series would be best for that.
Yeah, just try
like Mandalorian. You put it on like HBO Plus or whatever, whatever that is. HBO Now. Where did HBO go? Max. See, I just had to pick an adjective and it would have been fine.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying it won't be bad. But I guess HBO will probably be bad just because of Game of Thrones. You pick something else, but it's the point of it is I think
Showtime.
you did like a weekly release like Mandalorian. I think that'd be all right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the new cinematic universe trend is TV shows.
Yeah, I think it does just fine, especially depending on what it is.
So Rick, what's the one really cool, interesting story in either of those universes that would be a cool standalone movie that you wouldn't expect?
That I wouldn't expect. I don't know.
What's something
you have
that
to have a movie that starts out with you on the back of the horse-drawn carriage, like that iconic meme that it is.
Oh,
I
you're
hate that
awake.
meme.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the very beginning of Skyrim. Yeah, I don't know. I think
black
that
out my screen.
yeah,
I
as
meant to
far
black
as
out my
like
screen and then fade it up, but I'm just a tennis ball if I do that. Oh, you're a tennis ball.
That's the movie. The
Alfred
tennis
Storm
ball
throw.
cinematic universe.
Yep.
yeah, I don't know. I'm done.
Okay. But it's got a lot of potential because those are very, very built universes that a lot of people already like the lore and the backgrounds and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a lot you can do with it, like you said.
Yeah. So Jake, what's your idea?
My idea is something that has been done in comics and cartoons, and that would be a Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles universe. Because they've done it in cartoons. Actually, there was one just released. There was a cartoon movie that was released like 2 years ago. And then they've done it in comics a bunch of times. It's technically all a part of the same DC universe. But,
So now what city were they in? Because Gotham isn't real.
It's
And obviously
basically
the Ninja Turtles in New York City.
Shredder goes to Gotham and brings the Foot Clan, and then Turtles follow.
Ooh.
And it's just stuff like that.
They're all orphans.
It's the same thing. I mean, it's similar to. I'm not saying it would be doing good, but it's similar to like the MCU. Like Wakanda isn't near New York City or whatever, or wherever they go.
Yeah.
So like they go to wherever there's trouble needed. You would have to reboot the Batman universe, and you'd have to reboot the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles universe as well. But
the Batman universe has been rebooted like 8 times already.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, you'd have to have it be a little more lighthearted Batman than Ben Affleck or Christian Bale. It'd have to be like
Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson. Get ready.
Bring back George Clooney in the nipple suit.
That would be perfect.
Just put Jared Leto as Batman.
We'll play both of them.
God, fucking hate him.
But yeah, that would be fun because I'm sure you could get some medium name actors for the Turtles. That would be perfect because people just grew up with that, and they
Johnny Knoxville.
That would be interesting.
One?
Because he was one.
Was he?
What?
Yeah, he was Leonardo in the recent ones.
Did you okay?
I mean, I didn't mind them, the movies, but like I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so I have a blind eye to the bad. They weren't the greatest. Like they weren't the live action trilogy that in the 90s.
Yeah, that was my favorite. I had all of them on VHS.
Yeah.
Which one?
The third one's not good.
Which one?
No, you didn't like that one? I thought the
time
third
travel
one.
one? Mm-mm.
Yeah. Stupid idea, but I liked the movie.
What's up, Sean?
Which one was filmed in Buffalo?
That was the recent ones.
Yeah, it was the most recent one. It was the second one. It had Stephen Amell in it, actually.
I'm pretty sure both, because they only made 2 of the new ones, right?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure both of them had scenes in Buffalo. I believe. I know the second one definitely did, but I'm pretty sure the first one did as well.
I don't think the first one did, but yeah, I don't know. I know for a fact the second one was because it was made a big deal about it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that'd be my choice.
33.
Yeah, right. Everybody was pissed off that it was inconveniencing them at 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Why do you think they would go to get together? Just because you really like
Because they've done it. Like DC has done it many times, so like they have a history of doing it. And if you follow comics, which if you're a DC fan, you're most likely a comic book fan as well. Like,
yeah,
you at least have the history of it.
Okay, that's interesting. Lots of animals too, bats and turtles. Well, 2 animals, so that's good.
Fan wrote in, still think a Halo series TV show had potential. They did a series briefly, and it wasn't terrible.
They made a movie, and I forgot what it's called now. Rising Dawn or something like that.
I was gonna say Halo.
Yeah, Halo movie. I thought it was an amazing movie, and there are actually fan-made trailers for Halo on YouTube that are insanely good. I have the one. I can't remember the title of it, but I have the one on DVD. No big actor in it, but it is like it's the very beginning, like when the aliens first come and they attack a training facility where like the soldiers are all being trained to fight against the insurgents, which are it's all Earth based, but then the aliens show up. It's the very, very beginning. It's actually a really good movie. They never made anything after that though, but I can't remember, so I'll have to look it up. But it's definitely worth.
If you want to watch a bad movie, watch Sky. Not Skyrim. Fuck.
Hasn't even made it.
It's so bad. It was so bad. Never mind. Like the way you were describing it made me think of the movie that I watched, and I was so mad at it. I can't even. Was Skyline. It was so bad. It had Turk from Scrubs in it.
Oh,
it was such a bad movie. Like he was fine, he dies, but like basically, huh?
Oh no, it's not what I'm thinking of.
No, that's Skyscraper.
That's Skyscraper. Yeah.
Oh,
that's right.
But no, it's basically this alien race that like shines a blue light and it attracts people, and then they get abducted.
It's an anglerfish.
They're pulled into they're made into aliens and blah 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 blah. Well, this guy is made into an alien, but he overcomes the consciousness of aliens and just is a strong alien killing other aliens on the ship. It's such a bad movie. I can't stress it. Like I was like it ended and I swore I was just like motherfucking the TV because I was so mad. But like it was a similar plot to how you were just describing. Like they come to Earth and this and that. That like it made me think of that movie. I'm just like fuck. Then it just made me mad in my head and I had to release it. I had to vent about it.
The movie is called Halo Forward Unto Dawn. It's a very good movie, so anybody wants to check it out, it's pretty sweet.
Free advertising for them.
Yes, free.
They want to pay us.
It got a 6.9 out of 10.
I mean, it's not terrible.
Okay.
Better than a 6.8.
Yeah,
I guess.
it's almost a 7.
Kyler, Sean, got any ideas?
I got a couple.
I do not.
One, I don't think you guys will have anything to say, so I'll just breeze over it.
I'm going to say so much about it.
Sandman Cinematic Universe, based on the Neil Gaiman graphic novels. Because there's so many, like, there's a fairy universe, there's Norse mythology, there's Christian stories, like with Lucifer. Yeah. And
He's a bad guy.
He's a bad guy.
Kind of.
I mean, he's the devil.
He's a misunderstood guy, I think. He is a TV show.
Lucifer, you can open up the universe to have Tenacious D beat them in a rock-off.
That would be pretty cool.
Get the mask.
But I'm sorry, keep going. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I just love mythology and like weird fantasy universes that aren't just. I like the Tolkien-esque fantasy, but I also like different fantasy, and that would open up a lot of different interesting universes that all kind of can intersect at least. So that would be cool. But the one you guys might have more to say about is I think something in the vein of Firefly would be really cool. Maybe not exactly Firefly, but just some kind of humans in the future, possibly after a war, and you have like smugglers, and you can have like Black Ops people doing missions and stuff. And
I mean, literally you just described Star Wars, but
yeah, but
the description was of Star Wars.
But it's the Marvel like movies, like standalone movies that are like action movies in space. I guess Star Trek tried to do some of that too, but not all based around one crew. Like you can have several different. You can have a whole universe of cool things, and then you can have.
Star Trek would be a universe too.
Star Trek a little bit,
because I mean, you did have the movie that had Picard. I can't even think of the actor that played him, Sir Patrick, whatever. Yeah, Patrick Stewart. And then you also had the main guy back in the day that I can't even think of his name. That's how good they are. I can't even think of his name. I can't think of anything right now. Huh?
William Shatner?
Yeah. Patrick Stewart and William Shatner in the movie. So like they
but but with that, Yeah, they did at the very end. I think because Kirk dies. Shatner dies with Patrick Stewart around.
Yeah, he falls to his death pretty much.
Yeah, like the desert place. So
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of a universe because they did like converge. I guess it was more like a passing of the torch maybe at that point, but that was still kind of linear as well. There wasn't like multiple ships doing different shit at the same time. But yeah, the Star Trek is a very big world.
Yeah,
and he also had old Spock with young Spock.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Time travel.
Yeah, so
that was pretty neat. Also, it could also, if you just go in space universe, you could definitely do something with Mass Effect, because that has tons of stories.
Yeah, Mass Effect is very big.
Which, if you don't know, it's a sci-fi in space, kind of, sort of, loosely influenced by Star Wars, you can tell. But they have their own species, and it's all in our galaxy. And it's, after humans discover faster than light travel and see all these other species in our own galaxy, and they have their own politics and stuff. I think you could do some cool stuff with that.
what about
I do have one too, eventually.
a Indiana Jones Uncharted universe?
An adventurer.
They are making an Uncharted.
They are. Tom Holland.
Technically, Uncharted, which is a video game series, is also kind of in the same universe.
Everything.
Well, just let's get the viewers that might not know everything.
They can Google, bro.
Okay, I'll wait for you to Google what Uncharted is.
Just go.
Okay. So now that you know what Uncharted is, it's also in the same universe as The Last of Us. I'll wait while you Google that. Okay.
Is it really?
Is it really?
Yeah, there's a paper in, I think, one of the Uncharted 3. You're in a pub and there's a pub brawl and stuff. It's awesome. And you look and there's a paper on the thing that says like new mysterious virus, and it's the same year that the virus got discovered in The Last of Us.
That's kind of cool.
And they're both Naughty Dog games, so.
Yeah. Well, I know a lot of like the developers will leave,
but yeah, they're
to previous games or whatever. But
like Pixar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's a universe too.
Yeah.
But I think an adventure universe that could be really interesting, because you could have Laura Croft, you could have Nathan Drake, you could have Nicolas Cage from National Treasure. Why not? You could have
Dude,
Brendan
I want
Fraser.
a third one.
And just
those are great movies.
I need to know what's on page 27.
Yes, those are such great movies.
Oh my God, me and Alicia were watching the second one, and it's about Abraham Lincoln. They mentioned slaves once in that movie, and it's like 40 minutes in.
Disney, you don't want.
I know. I give them a break because it's supposed to be a kids movie. You don't want.
Mommy, what slaves? Well, it's what I am to your mother.
It's important. It's important for children to know, but maybe not at that age. Maybe not at Nicolas Cage.
Can't edit anything. We're live.
But yeah, I think a universe where there's just cities and treasures everywhere, and everyone's adventuring for them, and then there's big militias all over the place looking for treasures and stuff. That could be really cool.
All right, Shauner, go.
It'd be cool if they did like a God of War series and threw like the Greek mythology all in there. And like, I mean, they kind of already have like spin-off movies and stuff, but like, you could have like talk about Troy, like the Battle of Troy, which is the Iliad, and then talk about the Odyssey, which is Odysseus's journey back to Greece, and then like, I mean, you have like Kratos's backstory and everything, and talk about his troubles with the real God of War and Ares and everything, and then you could do stuff with like each of the individual gods and goddesses and stuff. I think that'd be kind of cool one.
I think it would be
God
funny.
of War written down on my list for one. It was one of the three that I had.
There you go.
All right.
I think it would be funny if they did like a God of War TV show, and every episode it's like you're following a hero through their exploits and why they became famous, and then it cuts to Kratos killing them.
Dude.
And then, it goes to a god who just appears like, I'm the son of Kronos, and I was born in his stomach and stuff, and then goes through all his exploits. He's got his followers and stuff, and then Kratos kills him.
I was born in his stomach. Yep,
Yeah.
I believe they're coming out with a Borderlands movie as well.
That would be a cool one.
I never played the third one. I only played 1 and 2. I didn't play the prequels.
I haven't touched any.
I haven't played the new one.
My take on that is the Borderlands, the story is okay, but the really cool things about the Borderlands is the environments, the graphics, and the atmosphere, including like all the ridiculous over-the-top characters just ambiently. Like you'll go in an enemy base and there's just people yelling poetry at you while they're trying to explode themselves at you and stuff. And it's a really interesting atmosphere, kind of like Mad Max. I think that's what they based a lot of it on.
Nice. Yeah, I could see it.
Movie.
Yeah, the cinematic universe, Australia and Pandora, they're like the same thing.
Yeah,
because then you throw in the people from Pandora too, avatars.
Oh my god, they might not fit as well.
They might be the prequel to what happens in Borderlands. So it's what happens to the planet.
Maybe.
But I like the God of War one. There's a lot of because you can go into any mythology. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, because like with the new God of War.
Fast.
Yeah, with the new God of War, it's Norse mythology. This round, so it's got Thor and Odin and the Valkyries and damn it, stupid static shock.
Sean's getting his electric powers.
You can
for viewers just.
I heard it.
For viewers just turning in, Sean is slowly getting electric powers he does not know how to control, so he keeps shocking himself.
I got static shocked at work so bad they sent me to medical to check my heart rate. Like it was a big deal. I remember Ricky and I were coming back from lunch. Like
It was big old pop.
Yeah. And Ricky's like, I saw it, and I was like, oh shit! Like you got to report it.
At work, it might not be just static. It might be actual like electricity from a device that's not properly grounded or something.
Hurt, man. Like we need to go like hook you up and make sure your heartbeat's right. All right.
Didn't skip a beat.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Sean will do that soon. Sean's gonna die here on live stream.
No,
so many views.
That would be a historic.
Hey, it'll boost the podcast. Anything for the podcast.
We'll find a replacement.
You're still under contract, Sean. So even if you die, you have to be on the podcast.
Oh, shit.
Weekend of Bernie's it.
I get somebody to prop me up every week.
Yep. We'll pay some of your coworkers. That'll be good.
You thought he was purple now.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. So I think we're about an hour in. Do you guys want to keep going? We have one more topic.
Might as well do the video games.
Let's do the video games.
All right. I think this one was head forwarded by Jake, believe it or not. I'm obsessed with video games, if you haven't noticed, but Jake was like, let's talk about video games. Huh?
The hell is that supposed to mean? Like,
I don't
believe
know.
it or not, Jake came up with a good idea.
No, I'm like, let's talk about video games every time. And breakfast. I like breakfast and video games. They should make a video game about breakfast.
Say, hold on, before we do that, I gotta go get a beer.
Is it break time?
Yeah, I need a beer.
Do. I need more water.
I got Pedialyte.
Maybe we'll take a little break. I guess.
Pedialyte for.
I've had a headache the last 2 days. It sucks.
COVID.
Trying to be an adult and not, drink beer will have a headache.
It'll make it go away.
Oh my god. I can be Beer League Benchwarmers podcast in chat.
Oh Jesus. That's not a good thing.
Ha 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 ha.
No.
All right.
Are we God?
You're God. You already got followers.
So I gotta pee. So I'll be back. I guess I should have gone before, but
yeah, you should have instead of fucking saying you're God.
I broke the seal, guys, which is totally not a real thing.
That escalated quickly. Just go, Kyle.
All right, bye. I can hear you still.
Great.
So
I'm gonna talk so much shit about him while he's taking a piss. Make sure you point it down. I want to get it on the ceiling again.
I'm peeing the tennis ball.
Why did he pick a tennis ball?
I don't know. Oh, it's because we were on a tennis court today.
Sport day.
Why are we playing tennis?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We've never played tennis.
Years ago.
That was
Not
just us fucking
competitive.
smacking the ball around like from one court to the other court.
Yeah, and then had
Yeah,
to
what, high,
chase it
high
over the
school, that
fence.
doesn't count.
No, it was just
Like,
at Willow Park
Yeah.
Oh, really?
at 11 o'clock at night. That's how cool we were. Instead of hanging out with chicks and shit,
Yeah, we turned the lights on. We used to get yelled at for turning the lights on.
we have to listen to Kyle pee hit in the water while crunching on a carrot. Well, that might be what he's into. I'm starting to think fantasy is a part of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's too
Hey, Kyle.
expensive.
Hey,
We're-
Jake, did
we're-
you notice his unbuttoned shirt?
Whoa, dude, checking out the chest, bro. Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm hot. Oh, you just saw my pit stains. Whoops. Sorry, chat, or whoever's watching. Maybe I'll go change
We
right
just got
quick.
15
No,
more
change.
views.
You're fucking kidding me.
Where are you going, Kyle? Come
I
on.
hope he comes back shirtless.
He's just
I
worried that we were
don't.
running long, and now he leaves to
Ooh.
go change his shirt.
Oh man, if only you came back like in Alicia's bra or something like that.
Oh, crying.
Not brave enough to do that. Sorry. All right.
Kyle's 80 shirt and chest hair is back. Yeah, see? He
Yeah.
changed it.
It
Oh, I was joking.
is what it is. Can't
crying.
fight your genes. You
I'm
got
crying.
what you got. I don't feel like waxing it. That seems awful. So
Who said anything about you have to wax it?
I don't know. That's if I wanted to change my chest to not hairy, I'd have to wax it probably. I'm fine with it being hairy though.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm not swimmer.
You ever look down and some of them are poking out of your shirt? I get a whole bunch of that all the time.
Oh yeah. I don't think I can stop that.
all the time.
Okay.
all right, let's get back on task here. Holy shit.
We're at a tennis court on our beer league on our bench that is super warm. Because it's got love. I know there's love in tennis. And it's the love day. That's the lore we're going with.
Okay.
Sorry. Bad joke.
Terrible. It's terrible.
All right, I'll rename myself.
All right. Well, what we got next, guys?
Kyle with the bad jokes.
Yep.
All right. Favorite video games from individual generations.
Okay.
I
I like video games.
So you guys are gonna have to kind of explain it. I got the chat on.
You can't pull a what? Oh, the
Okay,
website?
You got the chat? All right,
What the hell is going on? We don't know what's going on, John. Sorry.
Yeah, bear with us.
this is all new.
Um,
All right, so we're not really. You guys
we're not
don't
doing
talk about-
Atari.
So
Pong.
start from like fourth generation, I guess, from 1987 to 93, which would
What's that?
be,
NES?
well, actually that NES would be before that. Would be
Did you guys play NES even?
I did not know.
That's the first Nintendo, right?
I may
Yeah,
have
I
played
played-
Duck Hunt.
Mario Brothers.
Duck Hunt and Mario, which I mean, honestly, what
That's
was
the
better
same
than
game.
yeah, what was better than Duck Hunt when you had the gun that you could actually shoot?
I
Which
love
still
Paperboy was my favorite. It
never played that one. No,
was amazing.
I only did Duck Hunt, and I did the old Tecmo Bowl or whatever the hell it was.
Oh
called.
my God, you're right,
The
dude.
original.
Oh, that was my game. I'm sorry. I'm changing my
the
answer.
original.
Loved it. All right, we'll move on then. Next.
You guys know how the gun worked on the Duck Hunt?
No idea. I just thought
So-
it was
I put
magic.
bullets in it, and then my dad yelled at me.
Sorry. I had a beer, so I'm a little less
He had a beer, so he was gone.
Oh, I'm a man. I'm laugh manly. Haha. Anyways, so it has a light sensor in the front of it, right at the point, and So when you point it at the thing and pull the trigger, a pixel, the screen would go black, and one single pixel would scan. It would be one bright pixel going all the way on all of the pixels, basically, one at a time. And whenever the light sensor noticed it, it would use the timing from that pixel to know where you were aiming it.
Mm.
I probably explained that
it
poorly.
Makes me so fucking mad. You can go like talking about like your chest throw, and then just talking super smart and like just like that, like super quickly. It makes me so mad. Like
What?
you just go up and down, up and down, up and down, and I'm just a consistent stupid.
No one's gonna correct him. Okay.
There's nothing to be corrected.
We're right there with you, Jake.
Yeah.
This is a giggly podcast now. Anyways,
so then the next one would be the fourth generation, I guess. So we got the N64 and the PS1.
Where did Sega fall in?
that would probably
Sega
be
would have
around
been
then.
there with Super Nintendo. I remember Sega
Yeah, I was
being
gonna say,
out when
where'd
I had
Super
the Super
Nintendo
Nintendo.
go?
Super Nintendo would have been after that. So
Well,
No,
it
Super
would have been
Nintendo-
before N64.
No, Super Nintendo's before N64.
yeah, Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, I think, would be the same.
Yeah.
So
All right, we'll start there then. Super Nintendo and Sega. Did you guys
Super
play those at all?
Nope.
Super Nintendo, yeah, I had the Super Nintendo, and honestly, my favorite. I didn't have a favorite game for Super Nintendo, but what I loved is they created the Super Game Boy, which was a cartridge that you put your Game Boy games in and played them on the Super Nintendo. So that I fell in love with that, and once we got that was all that I used. Like I had a hockey game for it. I
Like
had
the DS. Or
yeah. I
They
had
kept it all along. They did an N64 as well.
yeah, I had the hockey game for it. I had that stupid Lion King game. This is forever ago, like 95, 96. But once we got the Super Game Boy, that's all I played it with.
I mean, Sega was Sonic.
Yeah.
Kyle was Tails, so he did all the work, and I just try to stay alive.
I did play Street Fighter on Sega, which is pretty good.
Comic Zone was interesting too. That was funny. It was like a platformer game where you were in a comic book fighting people and stuff, but there was like a little special move. You could grab paper from the page and make a paper airplane and throw it.
You would like that game.
Yeah. I was awful at games back then, but probably
So much better now.
games are easier now too. So
Yeah, a lot easier.
All right, next one is what? I'm sorry.
N64 and PlayStation 1.
oh, that's a tough one. I might say Super Smash Bros. Or Mario Kart, but I didn't really play them on the N64. I started with the GameCube with those games, but I went back and played the originals later.
It doesn't have to be an N64. It could be a PlayStation 1. Same
Yeah.
generation.
There was a game on PlayStation me and Jake used to play that was like submarines. It was kind of like Twisted
Dude!
Metal.
I'm
But
so glad. Like I thought I was the only one that remembered that. I don't remember what it was called. Right. I know what it is. But
Yeah.
like we played that a lot. That was a fun game.
Yeah, I think it reminded me of Twisted Metal because you like go around and you have like your basic guns and you have a special attack depending on your submarine, and then you can go and pick up other missiles and stuff. I don't remember. And
That was
then we
a
also
fun
had
game.
those wrestling games like Know Your Role or something,
Yeah, SmackDown.
which I
Whatever,
think
just
we've talked
funny.
about previously on this podcast.
All right, Sean, what's yours? Start with you.
Mine, I didn't have a PS1, so I had N64. So mine was WWF No Mercy. Nate and I used to play the
Big deal.
hell out of that. We used to create characters, had all of it unlocked. We used to always go into like the back rooms and out into the street and fighting and stuff, and always picking up weapons out from underneath the ring. And just, yeah, that was one of my favorite games.
How do you mimic wrestling?
Yeah, just like that. It's perfect, Kyle.
That was amazing.
Yep, it's like you were there.
Ricky, what about you?
N64, I was a big fan of. I played a lot of Smash Brothers, a lot of Mario Party when that came out. That was pretty cool. But I also loved. There was a game called Army Men on the N64 where it was you were plastic army men. You were always
Yes.
green, and you would have to fight mostly against yellow. I think blue is your ally, but you would go through and like there was a level where you're in the backyard and there's ants, and obviously you're little tiny plastic soldiers, so the ants are big. There was a level where you're in a bathtub, a lot of this other cool shit. It was a pretty fun game.
Was it a strategy game, or were you
it
aiming
was-
and stuff?
Yeah, it was a shooter game, so third-person shooter. But yeah, you get switch guns. It was cool. You get a flamethrower, and you get somebody with a flamethrower, and they just built. It was pretty sweet. It was a cool game. And then place. Huh?
Sorry. No, go ahead. Sorry.
I'll say PlayStation. I had a PlayStation as well, and there was. I can't really say I had a favorite game off PlayStation, but I absolutely loved buying the PlayStation magazines and getting the demo discs and just playing fucking disc games all the time. It was awesome. So just like, which that was always nothing. Like you get a football game and it was all right, you got to play 2 quarters against whatever 2 teams won the championship. So that was it. But the demo games are so much fun.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Kyle, did you say yours? I'm sorry.
I don't know, probably.
The submarine game and
Yeah, why not? I don't remember anything.
I mean, my favorite game I had. If I had to pick one out of the 2 systems, it was definitely Crash Team Racing. I love that game.
Ooh, that was fun.
I just remember like Kyle and I just playing free play and just putting poison bottles in the middle of the air for shits and giggles.
Yeah, there was.
I will say, notice nobody said GoldenEye.
I mean, I love GoldenEye, but yeah, that wasn't.
I'm
That was my
shocked that
favorite.
nobody said GoldenEye because that's like the golden age of the James Bond games.
Yeah. I played it. It was all right, but yeah,
I mean, I love it,
It wasn't
but-
a favorite. I didn't have it, but I played it. But yeah, it wasn't a favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot more fun playing No Mercy.
NFL Blitz 2. You guys ever play that? Blitz for PlayStation?
I still play that one.
Dude,
Like,
take me to Skateland. I'll play it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it started in the arcade, then they put
Yes.
it on the console.
Oh,
Skateland
man.
got bought. They might have gotten rid of it.
I bought
Well, that's
my version of NFL Blitz when Blockbuster went out of business.
Nice.
Still got the Blockbuster sticker on it.
Nice.
All right, what's the next generation? What we got?
Oh, notable mentions too. I did like the Legend of Zelda ones. Those were good. I played them much later though. GoldenEye was good, and there was one other one for the PlayStation. I can't remember. Crash 3, and there was this other one that was like a brawl game for Crash Bandicoot, and it was like mini games. It was kind of like a Mario Party combined with Super Smash Brothers kind of thing, but it was all Crash characters. I don't remember it though that much, but yeah.
Nice.
Next
Alright,
generation.
next generation, you got the PS2, the Xbox,
GameCube.
and the GameCube.
I didn't play
Smash
GameCube.
Bros.
I never.
Melee was amazing.
Ooh.
What was it?
Great
Smash
game.
Bros. Melee or Melee, or whoever you want to say it. Though that game was one of my favorite of all time.
That's the cinematic universe crossover event, basically.
I mean, you had Smash Bros. That did it too, but
Yeah,
Different
yeah.
GameCube. That was GameCube, right?
what's that?
That was GameCube.
Yeah, it was GameCube.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the
Most
first one I played it
indestructible
on.
system ever made.
Yeah,
I
but
never
yeah,
played- Go
sorry.
ahead.
I played Super Smash Brothers Melee at a friend's house, I think, and I was like, I need to get this game, and I bought a GameCube basically just for that game.
Oh shit, that's cool.
I got a couple other games for it too, like Time Splitters, I think.
Dude, that's a great game. Honestly, that was my honorable mention. It was Time Splitters 2.
Yeah,
That was a great game.
fun. It's a time travel shenanigans game. Very, very silly, and it had a cool map creator that was fun. And there are monkeys everywhere, which is great. But yeah. What other one was PS2? I think that's when Uncharted came out, right?
Oh, Uncharted.
No, was that PS3? Okay.
I mean, if I was
Maybe
going
that's
PS2, it'd be one of the SmackDown games. Those are great games back then.
Okay.
But yeah, I was just picking one game for the generation.
I can't pick one. So that was also Halo. I played that. That was fun. And
Ratchet and Clank.
Oh my god, is that when Ratchet and Clank came out? Love that game.
Never
Uh,
played that.
Spyro too, I think. And then there's also Knights of the Old Republic was great. That was a fantastic game.
Fuck.
That was
What?
Xbox, yeah. Yeah, I know what you're
Battlefront.
thinking, Jake.
Star Wars
Yeah,
Battlefront. Like, God. It's still Melee. But Battlefront 1 and 2, those are second and third right behind it.
Yeah, I was gonna comment that
Amazing games.
I still have two
God, my
PS2.
dick's hard just thinking about it.
I have two PS2s. Obviously, I have Battlefront 2. I have Battlefront 2 on that, and I do have it on my computer. But I have two PS2s that still get a lot of time played. Toker Race Driver 3 is one of my favorite games for PS2. That and Battlefront. I didn't play original Xbox too much. I just played like Need for Speed Underground. I think that was the only game I ever really played on it, which was a pretty decent game. But what about
Speed Most Wanted was good. I think that was a 3.
I believe this same generation nobody ever mentions because it was very forgotten was the Sega Dreamcast. I played.
It came out before its time. I will stand by that. It was too far advanced for people to understand it. The graphics are great. I will die on the hill by myself. I don't care. That was a great system that did not have the company's backing, and it came by way too quickly.
Yeah, I played an NHL game on it, and then there was this goofy boxing game that was pretty good. That was all I ever played. It was
Nate's getting excited.
God, I love that system. I wish I had it. I do. The Sonic game was like the first time Sonic was 3D too.
Really?
Yeah, it was all platform before that, and then it was damn it.
A lot of favorite games.
I never played the Dreamcast.
Because everybody hates on the Dreamcast.
Nobody. It really wasn't. It wasn't popular for some reason.
It made like 40 games at most.
Yeah, they did not do a lot. It weren't the discs like super tiny.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't like normal size CD tiny discs.
Yep. It's just like GameCube. But like Nintendo put a lot of money into GameCube, and they gave it so much backing with games and everything. Where Sega's just like, this is our last ditch effort, but we're barely gonna try.
Let's see if it works.
Yeah.
We'll do it just for the heck of it. Why not? It's a good business plan. I have another 2 that I forgot about. Burnout whatever. That was fun. Burnout Revenge. It was just crash into everything. The whole game is just crashing. It's awesome. It's so fun.
Guys are getting me so excited for games I haven't played in freaking 15 years.
And Resident Evil 4 was awesome too. I played that one like 4 or 5 times at this point.
I think that was
Leon Kennedy. I was on the GameCube first.
Yeah.
I played it on the PS something. One of those ones. PlayStations. But yeah, that was fun. It was a good game.
Go ahead, Sean.
Mine is Need for Speed Most Wanted. I still play it to this day.
Okay.
Hands down one of my all-time favorite games. You racing that blacklist and stealing the other opponent's cars if you beat them, and going and getting in police chases and just having hundreds of cop cars chasing you, and you blasting through the barricades and the roadblocks and avoiding spike strips and hitting things to cause
gas
the cops
stations.
To crash. Yes, to cause the cops to crash to lose your bounty, and that's hands down one of my favorite games.
I remember Road Rash.
Yeah, that was PC. That came out on the PC. Like where you could kick people and you could get like a chain. That came out on the PC. We got a comment for Halo, which Halo is.
Halo was an iconic.
It was huge. I never really. I have a couple of them for 360, but I never could get into Halo.
I wasn't big into Halo.
Yeah,
Nate was.
You had the Xbox. You definitely got into it. Which I didn't have an Xbox, so I didn't get into it.
It hasn't aged super well, but at the time it was super revolutionary for the first-person shooters. And I think Halo 2 and 3 are still pretty good, as far as I remember. It's hard to remember, but I remember they had co-op, which was great, and for the whole story, which was cool.
Yeah,
cool
universe. I didn't even know that because I never really played.
Yeah.
Next generation.
It would be your
360 Wii.
Yep, PS3,
Wii would be in
Xbox
there.
360, and the Wii.
Yep.
So many. I have so much trouble picking favorites.
I love Wii Sports. I don't care how stupid it sounds. I love Wii
Those are
Sports.
classic.
What are
We
I
never
don't-
played anything else on the Wii rather than like Wii
Well-
bowling and the boxing. The boxing was insane.
We Smash Brothers Brawl.
Yep.
I remember that. I will say Rockman.
We had a lot. We spent hours, days, probably close to weeks playing that game.
Oh,
I-
it was probably months. Like
I spent
songs.
so much money on Rock
Yeah, on
Band.
songs. Yeah.
On songs.
I mean, I'd get a text from Sean and be like, I just bought these songs. We got to play them. I'm like, all right, dude, I'm coming over.
Sean would
Yeah.
be like, "I need friends over. I'm gonna buy some songs so they come over."
Yeah. It's like, oh, man, this girl said no to me in homeroom, and I'm going to go play Rock Band now instead. Like, it's just stupid stuff. And then I go and be like, oh, this girl said hi to me. I think she loves me. Let's go play Alive by Pearl Jam. Yeah. Like, it was stupid shit like that.
Did you imagine you were singing to her?
Yeah. Oh man,
did the singing.
if I learned how to play guitar, she would probably hug me. Like that was before I even cared about like blowjobs and shit like that. Like oh, she would hug me. She would hold my hand this way, not even this way.
Oh man,
Boys of high school.
interlaced
Amazing.
fingers. Jake, that was some of the first advice you gave me about love. Was when you're on a walk, interlaced fingers, don't cup, no cupping.
I don't remember that.
Cupping is lame. You got to interlace those fingers, man. That's where it's at.
I don't remember that at all. Apparently, that's how much it meant to me. It's like, oh man, if you cup, man, that's so lame. You're lame.
hmm
I'm glad it stuck with you all these years later.
Yeah, I remember
I'm gonna
Rock.
put that on my tombstone when I die. Only losers cup.
We pissed off Sean's parents so much all the time.
This
Sorry,
one's-
Sean's.
Well, I
You
mean,
did.
Sean's mom said I was hot after we
Oh,
were playing Rock Band, so
Mm.
it happened. Kyle, you were there.
Okay, Rick, what
He
about
said,
you?
I will quote, all right, for our fans, we played Rock Band. The room got steamy because we were so into it because we're awesome. She comes in the
Probably
room
sweating.
and she's like, wow, it's warm and it's hot in here. And I was like, it's because I'm here. And she's like, yeah, it is. That happened. That happened.
Awesome.
Yep. I got my
Yep.
first boner.
And I haven't lived it down since.
Nope.
That's the question,
Sean's
Kyle.
got no chin and his mom thinks I'm hot.
Oh my god,
Thanks.
Sean totally. I don't. Sean has a
You're
chin.
lucky I
I've
like
never
your dad,
understood
otherwise he'd be calling me dad.
Yeah. That'd be the
that. God. Anyways,
Sorry to my family that's watching this right now.
anyways, Rick, PS3, Xbox 360.
Never played the PS3. Xbox
Wii?
360 is Wii was just Wii Sports. Xbox 360 easy winners Fable 2. That is one of the greatest storylines in a video game that I've ever played. Fable 2 is insane. Also, just super. You adventured around this world. You could buy shops and houses and rent the houses out to make money. Buy a bar. You could work in the bar just to do extra little things to get money. But then, you'd fight with swords and there was like clockwork guns. It was all kind of old-timey times. Yeah, it was sweet game, great storyline. So that's another good game to get into. They're going to be making, hopefully Fable 4 will be coming out here soon. That's going to be an Xbox exclusive. So
Cool.
Yep.
I have so many games I loved for the PS3. Oh god, I don't even know. I'm gonna say my favorite was probably The Last of Us, possibly, because it's got the best combination of story and gameplay. I don't know if anyone here has played it, but
Yes, I have.
it's got really good atmosphere and environments and really cool characters and really, really fun gameplay. I've probably played that one like 4 or 5 times at this point. And it's going to be a TV show. The Mandalorian's going to be the main character.
I saw that.
That'll be cool. And I think the lady, from Game of Thrones, the bear lady, the little girl who's like fearless and ends up killing a dragon or something. I don't remember. She's going to be in it too. Probably very, very different character though. But there's so many games for the PS3 that I've played and enjoyed. It's really hard to narrow it down to one or even a few.
Okay. What about you, Sean?
I mean, mine clearly is Rock Band for sure. And that, I mean, we've had so many hours with so many countless people just seeing us play, and then we're like, oh, I want to try that, and then getting everybody involved, and everyone's like, oh, this is fun, and us creating a band and doing the whole tour and everything. That was
inspired.
Awesome. And then, but an honorable mention for me is Call of Duty World at War.
Yes.
I had so much fun playing the zombies mode in that, playing the regular online. I think that's the best Call of Duty game that I have ever been at. Like that's I think I prestiged all the way to the end. I think it was 10 times. Like I enjoyed that Call of Duty game the most.
Somebody vacuuming?
No.
I wonder if it's my dehumidifier you hear.
It might be.
I recall, I think it was that game that I got a sniper headshot through a steel wall, and the guy was running, and there was like a container, and I predicted where he was going to be and got a headshot. And it was probably my best online shooter shot ever.
Just imagine if there's DEFCONs then.
Right? I just remembered Jake getting the last stand.
Turn the bottom, you unload on it, you'll end up killing them. This is foolproof. Yeah. Those World of War and the Modern Warfare 2 were classics.
Yep,
those are really good games.
Yeah, that was definitely. I mean, got Rock Band for sure, 100%. But yeah, World of War is an honorable mention.
Oh God.
Then what we got? Next generation, we got PS4, Xbox One, and Wii U.
Sure. Yep.
I have no clue what to pick. There's so many games I love for the PS4.
I did not have a pick.
Oh God. Right now I'm playing. I'll go with. I really like, and I'm replaying it again, and it's actually better than I remember. Horizon Zero Dawn. It's a game where you play as this tribesman who uses bow and arrows to fight dinosaurs, except they're robot dinosaurs. Basically, they're not all dinosaurs, but it's a post-apocalypse. I don't want to spoil too much of the story. It's a really good game. Post-apocalypse kind of sort of thing. And the story is good. The gameplay is so fun. You just fighting robots with a bow and arrow. So that's really cool. And it feels awesome. It's fun.
Feels awesome. Sounds like sex.
Like Bloodborne. When you're doing good in Bloodborne or Dark Souls, it feels great. Or even God of War, when you get on a streak. It's got that kind of feel where you like master it and you get better and stuff. It's really fun.
I don't know if I have a favorite. Like
I don't.
I have another one.
I definitely didn't play. I haven't played Wii U.
No.
I haven't played with a Switch being a part. Oh, that's handheld. I guess that's different.
Well, I think they're considering Switch like the newer generation.
Yeah, Switch is on. It's both of them. It's constant. It's
yeah, but I'm saying there's considering Switch to be like the new generation.
PS5,
X5 or Xbox.
It was in the same.
Yeah, I didn't play any Xbox One, and I mean, currently I've been playing Call of Duty and NHL. But I mean, I've been playing NHL since forever.
Yep, same here.
So that's a franchise that I like, even though it never changes and it pisses me off. But yeah, I guess Call of Duty Modern Warfare would be the newest one. But there's a lot of good games. Rocket League.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of good games, but I can't pick one. Put a statement saying that it's my favorite.
Yeah.
God, same. There's so many. I just played Hollow Knight recently. I've played so much Overwatch. That's a good game. It's really fun. And Call of Duty, just because social elements and stuff. Oh my God. The Last of Us 2. That's a good one.
Yep.
There's so many. Bloodborne is another one.
What about you, Ricky? Anything?
I guess Fallout 4 would be, as far as this generation goes, it's not my favorite Fallout game, but for the generation, yeah, it's probably my favorite.
Fallout 76.
No. 76 had potential and they failed completely.
I kind of want to go back into it because I feel like they've done a lot of work to it.
I plan on it. They haven't done a whole lot of work, but I plan on getting back into it.
They probably
haven't.
needed money to do more work.
They have tons of stupid amount of money. They just
Side-
they just aren't doing anything for it.
Side note, Ricky, did you see what the whatchamacallits, the storage boxes are up to now?
No.
800.
But see, now you still can't. What were they when we were playing? I don't even remember.
I thought it was like 200.
300 is the last one I remember.
300. I mean, it's still like my biggest gripe with it was like we all played together. There wasn't a shared storage box.
There is one now.
Wasn't. Is there now?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that's
it's
what
on the private server.
Okay. Like I don't know. Like I would want.
I don't want to be on a private server. Like I feel like I loved chasing down people and like
just killing them.
killing them. Yeah.
So much fun.
Yes, it
Chasing
was.
people and just killing them.
That was the first time I publicly said my dick was hard because like you killed a guy.
That was like
Kyle,
that was a lot of that was a lot of fun, but yeah, it didn't like it needed people like when we played, like we should have been able to create like a faction, and it was our faction, like you can do in World of Warcraft, like you could do in like I love Ark. Essentially, if you could take Fallout 76 and Ark and put them together, in which you make a faction in Ark and you can build a base as big as you want, and you put up defenses. If you could do that in Fallout 76, I think it would make it a lot better. But
that was what frustrated me was like our bases had to be so far apart where they couldn't be together.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what the fuck's the point of this?
And we had to trade, in which the trading was terrible. It was so laggy, if you guys remember where.
Oh yeah, or it like canceled.
Yeah, it was horrendous. Like a faction shared box and bases would have made that game so much better. So I don't think that they've updated that much, which I mean it's been out for a year and a half now, and it really hasn't gone anywhere. Map is still the same. There's still, I remember, I mean, the best weapon you could get was a 3-star weapon, and it was 3 stars, but then star 4 and 5 were grayed out. And they still don't have 4 and 5-star weapons or armor. It's all still 3 stars. So like everything is still the same. It's unfortunate. Like I want them to expand. They need to make the map bigger. There's a lot that they need to do to make it worthwhile. I know that right now you can get the entire thing for $13.
GameStop didn't take it as a trade-in.
They did not.
I apologize to them for bringing it.
And I spent the full price. Ricky spent
we all
3
did.
times the price.
Oh yeah, well because I freaking bought Xbox, and then you guys were like, oh, we'll play it too. So I bought the PlayStation and then an entire PlayStation 4 fucking system, so I could play it. And then it ended up being shit. Which I mean, I was like,
But, I mean, we had a good time playing it when we played.
Oh yeah, in the beginning, like honestly, if we were to go back and play it again, like I was thinking about it now, making a new character might be more fun than just logging on to my guy that I have, because it'd be restarting. But I don't know. There's a lot that they have to do, and I don't know if they really are trying to do anything. They're doing like events and nonsense like that, and like they have the Brotherhood of Steel, they have NPCs in the game now, but I just don't know. I don't know. It wasn't that fun. It wasn't as fun as I was hoping.
They dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. Had high hopes and fell on their face.
Yeah.
I feel like we could have a whole conversation about games as a service.
Jake, did you have one?
No, I the closest Call of Duty right now, and
what do you think of some of the big games? Grand Theft Auto is a big one.
Yeah, I mean those are good games, but they're not my favorite.
I don't know if I have a favorite. It's just what I'm playing now.
Yeah,
Witcher 3 is a good one.
I've been thinking about getting into that. That show is amazing. I can't wait for season 2 to come out. I've been thinking about getting into the games because I haven't played the games, but
it's long, but it is cool. It's fun, and it's got the side missions in particular. There's some really good side missions that are like unlike any other game. Like the quest lines and stuff, the decisions you have to make and stuff are really interesting.
Okay.
It's cool.
So out of all of our favorite video games, does anybody have one that is their favorite all time?
FIFA.
Doesn't even have to be one that you named. Could be on anything.
Yeah, I mean the two that I love the absolute most. It's a tie between the two. Would be Fallout New Vegas and Fable 2. Those are my two most favorite games ever. Which I mean that was Xbox 360, and they were both Xbox 360 games.
Oh no, man! There's so many.
John just started playing The Witcher, and he highly recommends it.
I'll have to get into it. It's been on sale a lot, and I haven't bought it, and I really probably should.
It's aged a little, but it's still pretty good. Crap! It was another game I wanted to mention. BioShock. The story in that one, when I first played that, it freaking blew my mind. Forgot about that one. So if you're going by story, probably BioShock or Last of Us. If you're going by online, probably Overwatch or Call of Duty.
Okay.
Or if you're going for like local multiplayer, probably Rock Band. So I don't know.
I gotta say Melee. Smash Bros. Melee, whatever you want to call it. Like that was just timeless to me.
Oh my God, God of War. The new God of War story is amazing too. Super Smash Bros. Is a good one. Yeah. Sorry.
There's a lot of good ones, obviously, but my first online experience was Ratchet and Clank.
Oh my God, that was fun.
So fun.
Yeah. I had to buy a little module for my PlayStation 2 so that we could hook it up to the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It attaches. He had to actually add a device back to the back of it. Yep, for the network.
Yeah.
I'm going to blow your guys' mind here because you're all probably going to assume I'm going to say the Pokemon games. But no. Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Oh, okay, we're including PC and all those?
Yeah, fuck yeah, why not? Those are video games.
I mean,
the Snake one. What's the Snake one? Sims?
Sims. I always loved Sims.
It's Roller Coaster Tycoon, hands down. I still play it to this day. I found a way to find it for my newer computer, the original Roller Coaster Tycoon. I was playing it before we started the podcast.
Did you play a game that was like Roller Coaster Tycoon but with dinosaurs?
Jurassic Park.
I mean, it's like there was Zoo Tycoon. That was a fun one too.
Okay, whatever. So Rick, you were saying?
I love listening to Sean talk about Roller Coaster Tycoon and what he does because he murders everybody.
He does. I mean, that's the best part of the game.
Yeah. You make the track and set the thing to go too fast, and they fly off the track, and then 37 people died. And then you just
have to buy insurance.
Then you just hit the button to reset it, and then everybody gets back on it again, and they go, "Woo, see you later."
I can hear it in my head too right now.
And then, or you build a thing where they're all out in the middle of the water, and they delete the road, and they all drowned.
Yeah.
They're all...
I'm such a happy murderer.
I'm sick and twisted. God, the Criminal Minds folks are going to come after me now after this video.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Roller Coaster Tycoon.
So check out our Kickstarter where we're starting a theme park where Sean designs all the rides.
Sean's not allowed to design all
Sean
the
World.
We'll just get really good insurance. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
We'll have everyone sign like 40-page waivers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
No suing us.
I think we're at a good point to end. Thank you for joining us live. Any closing thoughts from anyone?
Oh, everyone, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, if you left more often. Sean can't edit out my bad jokes.
I don't edit out your bad jokes, but
Or bad words.
Bad words.
All right. How the heck do I end this? We're gonna be here a bit.
We're gonna be staring awkwardly.
All right, I think I found it.
It's gonna be us talking and then just a black screen.
Deuces.